Alright guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and in this one, it is time to talk about some crazy update news. I'm talking about stuff like the possibility of Dusty Depot or like Moisty Mire returning. That is right guys, there's some clues pointing towards that we're going to go over. There's actually some map changes which we have to talk about. On top of that, we're also going to be covering the in-depth stats of the new explosive bow or boom bow, and also how it very likely could be OP. We'll talk about the details of that, as well as some other update news as well. So yeah guys, going to be a very fun video, very informative. And if you enjoy it and find it helpful, be sure to use my supporter creator code TheLlamaSir. It helps me out a ton guys, and I seriously do appreciate it. And again, that is TheLlamaSir, as you can see right here. And also reminder, whatever supporter creator code you have put in resets after 14 days, so make sure to check it, and if it's still in there, you can confirm it again, and I think that resets the 14 days. But yeah, on top of that guys, be sure to hit that like button down below if you're excited for a new Fortnite update. It's technically a content update, so it's not huge today. And on top of that, leave a comment down below, since we're talking about it, which was your favorite location to either go to or drop at, Moisty Mire or Dusty Depot, and maybe the factories around it. Whichever it is, leave a comment down below, or maybe you weren't around when those things were in the game, but hey, you can still leave a comment. But yeah guys, let's go ahead and jump into it with the first piece of update news that I want to go over today, and this one is sort of a quick one. We're not going to spend much time on it. Then we're going to jump into like the really fun ones, like with the explosive bow and the map changes, which are some huge map changes. But this one has to do with the floor is lava. I've said this a bunch, but I think floor is lava is probably my favorite LTM of all time. It's so much fun, building up on top of the lava and stuff like that. It looks super cool as well, having like the entire map covered in lava. It's seriously been a ton of fun, and I think it's become an LTM that a lot of people have liked as well. Like, did you guys like it? Comment down below that as well. Was it your favorite LTM, or is another LTM your favorite? But yeah guys, since we're talking about floor is lava, it is not in the game anymore. It's been switched out for a different LTM, which is currently Sniper Shootout. So that in itself is a little bit disappointing. I know this game mode was in the game for a while, but it wasn't in the game for enough, It was such a fun mode, especially when I got to do custom matchmaking with you guys on it. So I'm sad that it's gone, but yeah, it's gotten replaced by Sniper Shootout, which is alright. But again, yeah, I miss Floor's Lava. I wish they would have made it like a permanent mode, like Team Rumble or something like that. After that then though, let's jump into it with the specific boom bow stats, and then we'll get into this stuff with like the map changes and things like that. And after that, we've got one has to do with something that Tfue brought up, and it has to do with skins, so we'll talk about that as well. But yeah, the boom bow or explosive bow as they called it before this patch, a little bit confusing, but I think that kind of goes hand in hand. It's a very, 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 very unique weapon, alright? We predicted some of the ways that it would work, but other ways it was a little bit surprising. So basically the boom bow, as I can tell, it only drops in legendary. It maybe drops in epic, but I didn't have the time to like go into games and test it out. I only went into creative to get a feel for it, and I'm pretty sure it only let me spawn it in legendary. So as of right now, I think that's how it works. Now specifically with it, and this is just probably the most interesting thing about it, it doesn't actually take rocket ammo and instead uses shotgun ammo. That is right guys, so this weapon is honestly probably going to be very, very good, especially with the current amount of damage that it does. Like, it may be OP if I'm being completely honest, because let me paint a picture for you guys. So first of all, this takes shotgun ammo, which as you guys know is a fairly common bit of ammo to get. It's not uncommon like at the end of the game for you to have like 200 shotgun ammo or something like that, right? However, once you couple that with the damage and fire distance of this item, that's where it starts to get a little bit crazy. So let's start off with like the fire distance. Basically how it works is you have to hold the trigger or whatever button you use to fire, and it'll take 1.6 seconds to get to like the full power of like being able to fire it across. If you fire before that 1.6 seconds, it simply doesn't go as far, shoots a little bit slower as well. So I mean, take that as you will. You're probably going to want to charge it up, but like look what happens when you charge it up. Not only does it have like a trajectory, so basically you can fire it perfectly, but it also fires like almost perfectly straight for a very long distance. So yeah, this weapon is very good, and as you can see, when you fire it, it goes super fast. It's not like a rocket launcher where it takes time. This fires pretty fast. Now on top of that, you also have the damage. So basically the damage of this, it does 100 explosive damage, which is pretty good. On top of that though, if you hit a player directly with it, it deals an extra 15 damage for hitting that player directly, so it can deal like 115. So with that being said guys, the damage, the trajectory line, the fire speed of like how it actually goes across the map, how it doesn't really have a drop off, and on top of it taking shotgun ammo, this is a very good weapon, so be sure to pick it up. Honestly, it could very well be OP as it is right now, but honestly it's a ton of fun, and I'm gonna have to test it out out a little bit more in games. But yeah, so there you go. Those are the main details about it. All right, guys, but moving on here, this is like something that is super important, and honestly, I had to go into game to show it to you guys because, well, I've seen a bunch of, talk about it. I haven't actually taken a look at it myself in game, but I also think you guys should take a look at it, and we did talk about it a bit in our previous video. However, things have changed a ton, and this also leads me into my next thing, which I'm going to talk about after this, which is that like certain locations could be returning if like these clues actually seem to be pointing towards that. Like, yeah, there's some interesting clues, and we're going to go full Sherlock Holmes about this. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, but I'm in game here in Playground. If you guys want to see this yourself, it's a good way to check it out because obviously you can go to Dusty Divot. That is where we first want to check. We want to go to that excavation site. So heading into that little rift, we're going to go on down and check out what exactly is going on. And you can already see like the changes from up here, but this is like, yeah, this has got to do with something with the season 8 story. Maybe season 9, it's building up to that. Again, we're at like week 5 to 6 between that. Week 6 is coming out really soon, so like this is the time where things are going to go down. But yeah, as you can see here, it's changed a lot since even like last video when we covered it, and there is now this giant dig site. Like, just look at all of this, and like I'm gonna circle around to that, don't worry, but let's start off with the outside. You've obviously got the trucks. The excavators have gotten off of the trucks, and they appear to be digging through this thing right here. Yeah, also the side of the building has been removed. Actually they have moved it like over here a little bit. I think there was also some panels, yeah, sitting over there, so they moved it around. And then, of course, again, they're digging right here. Now, if you go down here, this is the same thing as with the other dig site that showed up. You can start to hit it, and it's got like millions upon millions of health. And I believe the way this works, if you don't remember, is that it's taking down health from everybody in the game pickaxing these. At least I think that's how it works, or from what I've heard. But also taking a look at this, you can already see that there's a ton of chests in here. There's 1, 2, 3 over there, 4, one right there, another one right here, and I don't know if that's just me, but you can maybe hear some under here as well. Like, there's also a little bit of a glow here. I don't know if that's from a chest, like under here somewhere. Maybe we'll see in a little bit when these start to get destroyed. However, guys, did you notice something inside of there? In that little walkthrough, you may have noticed something that is pretty interesting. So I'll go back to where it showed up. Again, we're going full Sherlock Holmes mode, but if you go down back to here, you can see what appears to be an anchor. That is right, guys. You can see it's sort of, going in from here, and then this is like one of the edges that sticks up. And if you remember, where did an anchor show up before? Well, with all of that stuff that happened with the rifts showing up, and also like the Vikings village showing up on the map, we got an anchor before that season, like sort of leading up to it. And I think the anchor is still over there. I don't know if this is a similar one or a different one. I'd actually have to recheck, but either way, I'll show it right here so you can form your own decisions on that. And actually, guys, I'm just gonna jump in right here and add a little bit of extra info. I took a look at the anchor at Viking Village, and I think it's a different anchor. As you can see, the one like below Viking Village, I mean, it's, you go down the waterfall, it's right at the bottom. This one, take note of how like the main part of it has sections. It has like rope around it and then normal sections, but it's very clearly in sections. However, if you take a look at the one that is inside of Dusty Divot, it doesn't appear to have sections. It also appears to be a little bit angled differently, whereas the one that's in front of Viking Village is more so like, rectangular in shape all around. So with that being said, I don't know if this is the same anchor. So yeah, guys, just wanted to bring that up. Maybe we can theorize about it. Leave your comments down below. I've already got some ideas we might have to talk about in a separate video. But sorry, yeah, getting back into it. But yeah, that is 100% very interesting. But after that then, guys, as I said, this leads me into my next point about maybe like another area returning. And actually, I forgot to mention, and credit to Mousito1 for pointing this out on Reddit, but the container in this area is very interesting as well, because it seems to be maybe possibly one of the containers that was on top of the truck near the factories, or maybe it was, one of the ones, I think there were containers inside of Dusty Depot. It's been so long, but if it's one of those containers, maybe this is hinting at like the factories maybe coming back. I don't know. However, this other piece right here, sort of goes hand in hand with this. So basically, guys, this part has to do with the previous dig site, which we've talked about a bunch. We won't go over that much about it because, well, we've already talked about it a bunch. However, I do want to highlight something that we missed. And thanks to Flaming on Reddit for pointing this out, because it's a pretty good idea and a pretty good connection. But if you go over to that dig site that was like the first one over at, you know, near Paradise Palms, near the bridge, and you go in there, you will notice that there's a skeleton. Now, at first, this doesn't really stick out that much because there's still a skeleton in Paradise Palms. I believe it's on top of one of the hills. However, something else that could be interesting is that this skeleton was, again, one of those things that was a precursor to, you know, Paradise Palms and like the desert area showing up. If you guys remember, before all that crazy rift stuff happened, one of these skeletons, you know, popped up on the map through a rift in Moisty Mire. Now, with that being said, could this be hinting at Moisty Mire maybe returning? Again, that's difficult to say. However, when you couple it with the fact that we also saw the container show up at this new dig site in Dusty Divot, and on top of that, there's also like a piece of the meteor and also an anchor, it seems a little bit like, you know, it could be a possibility. And like, what if there is a possibility of these areas being restored? I think it could be very cool. We've had, you know, the Paradise Palms desert area for a very, very long time. So maybe if we can see like Moisty Mire get restored or Dusty Depot get fully restored, it's sort of like, you know, the cafe or whatever you want to call it right now, Dusty Diner. But who knows, maybe we could see the old version get restored. You never know. Again, very hard to say at this moment, but you know, it's something super interesting to take note of. So I thought I'd bring it up for you guys. Again, if you have ideas about that, be sure to leave them down below in the comments. I have tons of ideas. You know, I'm going to have to make a new theory video coming up soon here because I've already got some good theories, but this is more of an update video, so we'll talk about those then. And then for the last thing I want to talk about in this video, this isn't really update news. It's sort of more like speculation and like an idea, because again, this has to do with a tweet that Tfue put up, and I've been thinking about this for a while as well because I thought it was a really cool idea when they did it the first time around. So I just want to bring it up again because I'm hoping that, you know, this happens again. So basically what I'm talking about, Tfue recently tweeted in reply to a Fortnite tweet about something that has to do with skins, and basically what he said is, listen, Fortnite game, you guys are doing great, but we need more supporter creator exclusive skins. Now, what I'm pretty sure he means by this is like similar to how the Cuddle Hearts wrap was given out, is like a little reward for people entering a supporter creator code. It was a really cool thing back then, and I mean, it was a free item, so I'm hoping that they bring this back in some way. And like, again, I've been hoping that they do bring it back ever since, you know, after the Share the Love event, but who knows, maybe they could do like a pickaxe or something, maybe a special outfit, even if it's just a recolored version of something that's already in the game. It honestly would be really cool to see, so I'm hoping they do that. And what do you guys think? Would you like to see more, you know, free items given out in that way? I think it would be pretty cool. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. On top of that, you can check out some of my previous videos here, such as on the left, my previous update news video, which you definitely want to check out. Also talks about Kevin, and then on the right, whatever my most recent upload is. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.